Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? We are still in a hotel in the middle of Montreal, but the streams will go on. Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to yet another Ploto Gaming live stream. The stream might have cut out during the loading screen because I moved my mouse and it unplugged this super shabby Ethernet cable that I have connected to my laptop, but we are still out and about streaming this 1093 KvK. And we are streaming it with a different perspective because, 1093 might be one of those kingdoms that we're potentially looking at to migrate to. So we'll have to see what's up. But let me say hi to the chat real quick. I think we got a Stonkers in here. We got Ritz with almost 2 years. I can't believe it's almost been 2 years. That is pretty insane. Appreciate the 22 months, brother. The plane guy was here earlier. We got Kill Day. We got Captain Hook. Our Vito. 1093's matchup is pretty similar to 960's matchup. We could go ahead and look at the power rankings real quick, which I was provided by some people. Let me just go ahead and that. There you go. So we could go ahead and take a little look-see here, where it is a 1 versus 3 in a heroic anthem. It is 1093 versus Earth Camp, which is 2387 and 3273. Wind Camp, which is 2298 and 2102. And finally, Water Camp, which is 3165 and 2906. So, not any of the big known kingdoms. Although I will say, if we go back in game here, they do have other domains, which indicates to me that they're actually pretty big KDs that they're fighting against. If we go to 1093's KvK, it's 3165 have an extra domain, 3273 have an extra domain, 2298. That doesn't really indicate strength, but it does indicate that they do have a lot of active City Hall 25 accounts. By the way, pass is going to be opening in about 3 minutes here. The stream shouldn't be too long. Just wanted to check it out while I was a little bit free today. But let's go ahead and go back to the matchup here. 1093 is going to be following the precedent which was set by 960 in their 1v3 KvK, where they will be splitting in half, I believe. So it'll be half, like 93T going on one side, 93X going on another side. And you have to remember, 1093 is now only quote unquote only, probably the only 2 alliance kingdom in the game, but they have downsized from 2 KvKs ago being a 4 alliance kingdom, last KvK being a 3 alliance, 1 support, and now being a fully 2 alliance kingdom. So we'll have to see if they're the same 1093 of old, or this will be a good litmus test to see their firepower. I think. I mean, you could go ahead and look at the KPs down here. It looks like Water Camp having a 1.1 trillion KP. They do have older kingdoms compared to like 3273, for example, which is, I don't even know what KvK they would be in. That's a pretty young kingdom to be fighting against 1093, not gonna lie, but they do have a lot of power, more power though. They have 34.2 billion power in that camp compared to the 31.9. That'll be pretty interesting. We'll try to spectate both perspectives and both sides, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Let me go ahead and no, I'll keep it up for now, just in case you want to go back to that. What's wrong with my mic? I am streaming from a hotel, so apologies for the mic quality. I did not bring my microphone from home. I was planning to, but the schedule was crazy. I literally casted Osiris League and then dipped so I could drive to where we are now. But in my haste, I forgot to take my microphone with me because I was just using it for Osiris League. I literally had everything packed in the car except for the mic, and I forgot the mic. It kind of sucks, but hopefully it's bearable. Shajar, I have not really looked at any of the reports. I've been talking to some of the people about it. It looks like this whole cycle is pretty skippable. Like William Wallace, Belisarius Prime, and Shajar, like they're like alternatives rather than replacements. You know what I mean? Where you could still run the Boudica, you could still run the Ashwaubenon Paul with Naboo or whatever. It's not a must max, but you know, it's still a pretty decent commander. By the way, it looks like 93X is going to be going to the right side. 93T is going to go to the left side. You can see that they are starting to buff up their marches with with markswomen's and dragon lancers and lohars. Gotta love to see those commanders out in the open field. But the pass is about to open up here. You can see that there are. Okay, the sounds is a bit too loud for me to to not simplify. Yeah, it's oh wow, Lucky Bing with Joan of Arc is a pretty interesting combo to swarm with. But you got to keep in mind this kingdom is. I guess they're opting into the Joan. Interesting. And then they got Lucky Bing with Nevsky over there, swapping out when low. And this is the most important pass for this zone because it is the closest to their opponent, so they should be having a lot of focus, or their main swarm is on this pass rather. Looking forward to see Shajar today. Yeah, we'll have to see. Is this the first big KvK with Shajar being used, or first big kingdom rather? Yeah, the mic quality is not the best. I'll have to buy a portable mic. 2429? I have not, actually. And I've not been answering my DMs. Shout out to all the people that reached out for the Migration Monday next week. I'm definitely going to get back to people once I get situated in my next place of dwelling. Because we're moving hotels today. But 2429. Who are they versing? Is it also 13? Who's 1365 and 2377 versing? I heard rumors that they're versing each other, or at least they queued up at the same time. $93X about to get this pass down. It is so low. Probably in voice comms, just saying that you gotta switch. There you go. Level 4 pass taken by them. Their opponents on the other side, it looks like they're still swarming down the pass. I was about to say, are they going to be waiting for the rally? Oh, they got a Liu Che on it. Interesting. Gotta swarm with what you got. Liu Che, Alex swarming. Is this a Max Tech player? Oh yeah, it is. Okay, so they're meant to be swarming. In 2268's pass, last KvK, we had like a rando swarm, and they're kind of. I mean, we would have lost that KvK regardless, but being late on that pass by a minute really dictated that zone. Look how they made Herman skill synergy that boosts skill damage when taking. Oh, there you go. So you could see some very, very aggressive forts from 1093. The thing that's interesting about, and this is the bottom side. Oh, they got the forts to block the flag lines here. The thing that's interesting about Heroic Anthem Zone 5s is that they don't really matter. Well, there are some merits to winning this zone. For example, getting the Tempest Sanctuary for the 10% march speed is pretty decent. And there's like some bastions and such. I'm not in the KvK, so I don't know where the bastions are. But it does not impact your pathway to Kingsland because you still get into Zone 6 for free. Then you have this past 7 fight where you can invade each other's Zone 6s, but by then I believe all the kingdoms will have carpeted out their Zone 6. So in all honesty, you don't really need to go all out for this zone. You could lose this zone and still win the KvK. So I'm gonna be curious to see if 1093's opponents go all in, or if 1093 goes all in, or if they're just gonna be chilling and this is just a litmus test for what's to come. You could see some 1093 members random teleporting close to the 93X forts, 93 SP forts. On this side of the map, not too many, there aren't that many forts blocking flag lines. Oh wow, an 81 million power player. This guy's bally. Shout out to Goliath for a. I would be I'd be nervous, but I guess there's a lot of people that random teleported out. But 81 million power though, they gotta have a good garrison on this city to be confident like that. I would guess it'd be a similar situation here. They got Rubio random teleported on top of the 93 T4. Wow, that's a great. Oh, they got the boat skin too. Probably a 15-day or 30-day boat skin with their current power, but still super cool and something that I wish I had. The 93B fort, no one's in there yet. No one's in this D65A fort. So the thing about these zones where it's just a wide open space is it's a land grab for these kingdoms. 06 GT. Interesting. It's just a land grab to try to get as much territory as possible. Let's track the murder ball of these two. So there's a murder ball here, getting absolutely attacked by the 1093 marches. That's the thing about random teleporting, is that you could really whittle down the murder ball as they start approaching. It's faster to reinforce, although they did get a random teleport with a Jinx profile picture. Arcane Season 2 coming out next month, I believe. Let me see. Recruiting. I like her tankiest perspective, but it would have been nice to have another comm, as I said. I also wish the shield instead of Mighty Peel. Yeah, I mean, she is the most tankiest archer commander, which is true. I mean, I guess this KvK will be good litmus test. Let's see the open field marches that people are using here. That's still Herman Prime with Zhuge. Not currently seeing any usage of Shajar as of yet. Now the real question is, do you use Shajar as in your top 5 marches? I mean, for me personally, I do a 2-2-1 setup when I have 5 marches. So I do 1 imp, 2 cav, 2 archers. But maybe if you have William Wallace, you're more inclined to go the 2-2-1, where you do 1 archer and then 2 infantry. You play League, Mr. I used to. High school Ploto was. I never played it competitively. I just played it as a social thing. Highest I reached was gold. So, I mean, it's one of those games where when you solo queue it, I question what I'm doing with life. So I only play like flex or duo queued. 3 archer marches, you could definitely max her for sure. I'm too uninformed with how her testing went to say if she's better than Boudica Prime and or Nebu and or Ashurbanipal. From what I've been seeing though, Ashurbanipal is still seen as the 3rd best archer commander, and then It's like a debate for fourth. League was fun. Hey, what's up, Avorinvadia? Another streamer, by the way. But they lost balance of the game, so most people quit after S10. Now it's only fun to watch competitive. I've been watching Worlds for sure. I use my Twitch Prime on K-Drill so I could like. I mean, it's been kind of disgusting my routine in this vacation because I'm in downtown Montreal. So there's a ton of. I've been playing Pokemon Go recently, so there's like a ton of like Pokestops and gyms and raids and stuff. So I've had Worlds playing on the top of my phone and then Pokemon Go on the bottom of my phone, and that's been like what I've been rocking with. I've been walking a shit ton, by the way. I think I walked 25K in the past 2 days. Pretty good. But yeah, I don't really play League of Legends like that no more. Shajar, you think will be part of the third Archer March? I know for a fact she's going to be a great Barb trainer, which is going to be fun. I don't have any of the new Barb training marches. Like, apparently the new MG commander is going to be a good, have a big circle AOE. We'll keep our marker here. Let's go ahead and save this. Oops, I almost. There we go. Looks like they are posturing outside of this area here. Oh, maybe we'll keep our eyes on this murder ball. I kind of want to see what's going on in this bottom side too. 93T. Looks like there's fights going on here. Just follow where the sad faces are coming from. I mean, hypothetically, 1093 should be outnumbered, right? Oh wow, there's a sizable ball actually outside of this 93B for it. We'll keep our markers, our 2 viewing points here. All right, let's go. This one looks like it's gonna explode first, so we'll keep our eyes here. All right, the first big murder ball between Earth Camp and 1093 or 93X rather. Again, this is half of 1093. It's still a lot. It's still a pretty sizable murder ball, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, yeah, I think the different troop types kind of have their own niche, you know what I mean? Smite, infantry, the AoE damage, AoE skill damage going to archers. I guess the new commander doesn't really fit that mold, but I think I'll lower the game sound a little bit. Oh my gosh, I didn't know it would be that loud. Hopefully that's a bit better. Let me lower the music a little bit. Sorry, I'm not used to balancing audio on this laptop. It's my 3rd time streaming on it. I play Pokemon Go, not Pokemon. My girlfriend got me into Pokemon Go, and I've been using it as like a workout app so I could walk. By the way, 1093. I mean, looking rather dominant in this first open field murder ball. You could see the sad face waterfall coming out from Earth Camp, and I mean, the initial murder ball doesn't really mean too much in the grand scheme of the zone, but in the grand scheme of morale, is looking rather rough, especially because their opponents are younger KDs here. Hey, King Schmuck, what's up, man? You've been killing it with the content. turn it up. You can't hear game now. Turn it up slightly. Alright. Let me lower the music. Turn up game. There you go. Hopefully that's better. But yeah, this murder ball is pretty dunzo. They are doing the forts here so that they're forced to half flag. I mean, they're probably gonna just pass sit now on this top side. So let's go ahead and look at the bottom side. 96S doing their thing. I mean 96X rather. Let's see if 93T can have a similar success. Looks like there was a murder ball around here. I don't know where 93T's murder ball is actually. Oh, there it is. Found it. Not as dominant from 93T. I mean, Water Camp is seen as stronger than Earth Camp in terms of just KP. So I guess that tracks. A lot more competitive, although it is still pretty 93T favored. I'm curious as to why Water Camp doesn't just put everyone into one murder ball and then go from there. But I guess it is, you know, two different kingdoms, so. It will be a 1 versus 3 in Kingsland from what I understand. It's not a 1 versus 2 versus 1 like the 960 KvK. Hey, killed it with the 7 months. They're gonna get destroyed if they keep retreating. Yeah, I mean it's looking rather rough for 1093's opponents, not gonna lie. But I guess it's to be expected when you verse, you know. I still think 1093 is the top 3 kingdom in the game, even with their downsizing, so. Nobody understands Zillow's matchmaking. From what I understand, though, all these kingdoms, all the big kingdoms queued up at different KvKs or at different times, right? Like, 1093 didn't want to face the 2489s and 960s of the world again. Same thing with 960. I feel like all these big KDs are taking this a break from fighting each other because, you know, they've been fighting each other so often. I mean, 1093 and 960 have fought 2 KvKs in a row against each other. So it's hard because I don't know what Lilith is supposed to do in matchmaking. Like, put even more kingdoms against 1093? It would be... This is rough when one of the biggest kingdoms in the game in 1093 wants to play a heroic anthem, and then there's no other big kingdoms in that pool to match them up against, you know what I mean? I think someone sent me the map. Let me see. Oh, this is the domain 2 of 2429. Oh, 1034 is in domain 2 now. That's crazy. That's true. 1254, 1556. A lot of KvKs in a row. But it's getting rough for Rise of Kingdoms. I feel like there's a monopoly of kingdoms, you know what I mean? Where everyone's streamlining into the same kingdoms. That being 2489, 960, 2377. They're like kind of continuing to merge and incorporate different Imperiums, which makes them stronger for sure, but then it's going to be hard to find opponents. And then these KvKs, is what ends up happening. Although I feel like the Kingsland's still going to be pretty hard, and we have to remember that this is just Zone 5, and this Zone 5 is pretty meaningless in the grand scheme of things. There will be this camp, wind camp, that will enter the fray in Kingsland. So I feel like that should be accounted for when we talk about this overall KvK. Three stripes with the 8 before, 12 before merged with 10:05. I mean, look what happened to 1254 when 1556 ended up moving out and eventually disbanding and creating. Some of them created 2489 for sure, but there was no matches for 1254, and that kingdom ended up dying as well. We'll see if the new migration system helps alleviate some of the burden for Imperium kingdoms, and maybe more people will want to be Imperium after that, but I don't know. We'll have to see. I remember when we literally matched the start of our losing streak in 2268 was actually because of 1254 in a way, where like Rez and them were begging us to match up against them in a Siege of Orleans. This one, Siege of Orleans, was brand new. We're the pioneers for Siege of Orleans, and we said sure, yeah. And there's like a bunch of other kingdoms. It's 2755 when they were still around. It was who were allies? It was like 1484 or something, or it was some, I forgot who we were allied with. And then there's 1671, I believe, were our opponents versus, and 2755. So I think all of us are supposed to verse 1254, but 1254 did not get matchmaking. All the kings of those kingdoms like sent a petition to Lilith, and they said, yeah, we can't do anything, and that's how 1254 ended up dying, because by the time they versed 1365, everyone was already like tapped out of the game. Is there Shajar in the murder ball? Let's check. Shajar check. Is that like, I don't even know what the commander is. I know it's Ashtabana Paul, but who's the secondary? I don't even know what Shajar looks like in the open field, actually. Like, I don't even know her character model. Is that her? It kind of looks like... It does not look like her. Are they CCs? I actually don't know the seed of the kingdom we're versing against. They're versing against. The problem with the game is that there's not much to do if you're a whale other than spend plus fighting. That's why big MKDs die. But yeah, it is pretty dominant coming out from 1093 for this opening. I mean, that's they're out here like, ooh, turn back on that simplified, please. Simplified sounds. Is Shajara a prime? And she's a secondary commander, right? Because of her active skill. Who would we see her behind? Like Ashtabana Paul, probably. It's hard to blame Lilith. At the same time, you can't blame the kingdoms. I feel like there's just I remember I was talking to Ruz about it when 12-4 was not getting matches. He said that like the old system where everyone would just get randomly matched and you couldn't choose the time, the place. It's just Rise of Kingdoms doing matchmaking, or the KvK. Like those times were easier because now there's so much politics when it comes with matchmaking. Like, oh, we're gonna queue up at this time at this KvK to meet up with this kingdom or to skip that kingdom. Like there's just so many ways to game it. I mean, let's go look at the coalition that these guys are versing against. It's 12.8, 9.2, and 7.6. Like it's these guys are A seeds. They're no slouch for sure, but and then this is the second coalition. Oh, it's the same coalition. 12.8. Then if we go with these guys, we got 11.2. These guys are split in two. We got 12.2, and then they have a. Is this the same coalition? 12.2 and a 12.2. What? No, it's just different coalitions, just the same number of. It's literally the same power. $1846 will have a solid migration. I mean, I heard, I know Gaines wants to go there, so we'll have another YouTuber to watch there.
Stonks.
Yeah, thanks for the sub, by the way. Appreciate everyone for watching the stream. If you're new to the channel, I promise my voice doesn't always hear like this. I'm actually in the hotel room talking through a headset, so once I get home, my mic will be better. So if you want to hear Ploto with a better mic, subscribe to the channel, like the stream, send it out to the homies. Be greatly, greatly appreciated. What happened to 1079? I think 1079 is still doing okay. I haven't really heard much about them, but I guess, you know, Shappy and Gaines just want to go elsewhere. I mean, they've been there for so long, so makes sense. What level am I in Pokemon? In Pokemon Go? I just hit level 45 because of the Team Rocket event. I was able to do my bosses finally. I want Pokemon Go. Let me catch some Mankeys while we're here. Hey, what's up? What's up, Panda? I saw your matchup. By the way, if you guys didn't know, the 2268 group migrated to 3092 and they queued up for KvK, but their KvK, because they're a B seed now, has like 20 kingdoms and 4 camps. It's like 5 camps per kingdom. Pretty insane, if I have to say so myself. By the way, they're fighting back. Wait. 1093 getting sad faced? This KvK is not over? I mean, shout out to their opponents for continuing to push through here. Auto on socks in 960. But yeah, there you go. A map check. We could do a little bit of a map check. 1093. I think, wait. Yeah, I should have my assets still here, right? I'm on a different computers. I don't know if the red arrow. It's still here. Okay, 1093 have very aggressive forts around this area. Their opponents are trying to make sure that this 93 export doesn't build, If this 93 export builds, then it's kind of criminal, and this zone's probably Jover.
Stonks.
I'm curious as to why they built it here. Is there like a bastion around here that they're trying to hit? Oh, right here, the double C bastion, obviously for the barb damage. Very crucial. And this bottom side, similar situation. Less success, I believe, for the 1093's opponents. First, one, they're versing against 93T. But two, they kind of separated their troops. They have like one line going this way, one line going that way. And then 93T, from what I believe, are kind of going back and forth between the two lines. But yeah, they should be able to get these forts built pretty quickly. They have 2 hours left on that fort, yeah. By the way, we're not going to be streaming. We're probably not going to see the forts build. I'm going to stream for a couple hours, but nothing too crazy. But what is crazy is that Earth Camp fighting back. Now 93X have to retreat and regroup. Luckily for them, they have flag lines built really, really fast. That's one thing that you definitely could see the difference with Imperium Kingdoms, is the way, or the top Imperium Kingdoms, is the way that they build territory. Making sure that they could get some reinforcements. They also have a lot of random TP'd players, which will help them reinforce. But yeah, I mean, 93T's been pretty dominant outside of, well, I would say the reason why they got wiped is because their murder ball was literally on top of their cities, just getting cheeseburgered over and over and over again until eventually they got sad faced and now they have to regroup. But at least there is some competition on this X side for sure. I'm still in 2268 for now, yeah. Just waiting for, wait, someone got imprisoned? You have a, wait, 5-minute cooldown. Why is there a chat cooldown? Oh, for subscribing. I see. This person got imprisoned, but they seem to be okay. Appreciate the info and the subscription. Let's talk about the future for 1093, because I mean they still look pretty strong. Who would their next matchup even be? They won against 960 in that head-to-head. That was when they had 4 kingdoms. Now 960 got a new migration in. I think the new system for migration definitely helps 960 a lot, because they're able to migrate in a lot more people without having to drop Imperium. I mean, I guess it would help 1093 as well. But 960 is the type to... I think it'll help 960 more because they have, you know, specific spending requirements, and they get the... I call 960 kind of like the Rise of Kingdoms All-Star team, because they have like the whales of every kingdom in there. With like alts or something. They versed 960 twice, beating them in that head-to-head, losing when 2049 was in 960's camp. Would it be like another 960 matchup, or would it be a 2377 matchup? Or, I mean, 2377 is kind of out of sync with them, right? For KvKs. Would it be a 1365 matchup, perhaps? I don't know. I guess that's true. Because the top 300 for migration or for Imperium would be a lot higher for 1093. But I think because of this new system, 960 could comfortably go to 2 alliances, just get in 10 to 20 players per off season, and just stay Imperium, you know what I mean? Because I know 1093, they have like a cycle of migration where they do 2 seasons or something. They have like a certain amount of KvKs they do no migration. And then after like that 3rd or 4th KvK or whatever, they drop Imperium so that they can get a migration in. Like they've made it work throughout the years. So we'll see. We shall see. But yeah, going back to this KvK, EarthCamp pushing back against 93X. 93X still looking rather outnumbered, honestly, with this murder ball. And this is on top of their fort. Fort's still having 2 hours to build. The flag lines are getting closer and closer. But so are the flag lines of 93X. If 93X are able to get the flag lines around the fort and kind of shield it away from the flag lines of EarthCamp, then they should be pretty safe. And they're going to continuously build these forts to force their opponents here to half flag, which is really, really smart on their part, really annoying for if you're 1093's opponents, because, you know, you're essentially getting half of your progress each flag. You think 1093 is the best KD in Rise of Kingdoms? That's a good question. I think they were the strongest kingdom, especially when they had 4 alliances. I don't know how they would fare now against... I mean, who's the competition, right? It'd be 960 perhaps? It's hard to... The thing about Rise of Kingdoms is it's so hard to know relative power level of each of these kingdoms unless they face and match up 1 versus 1. Because I don't know how good the migration of 960 is. I don't know how strong 1093 is with their downsizing. But, you know, I don't know. I think the new system's good. I'm just curious as to the implications of it and if that'll actually... I mean, I think it'll help the game, but I'm curious as to what kingdoms will it help more than others, you know what I mean? Do you think all big imps should go into 1 KvK? I mean, that'd be best for the game. I think that'd be best for the game. Because it's demoralizing to get destroyed by a big Imperium Kingdom, that's for sure. I think that's why there's so many, like before there used to be a top 32 kingdoms, you know what I mean? Where there'd be 32 big kingdoms that were Imperium, and, you know, of course, kingdom number 32 would be not match up against 1, but at least it'd be competitive. Now everyone's trying to dodge these Imperium kingdoms. And, you know, these guys are A seeds, probably not but these guys are A seeds, but they probably did not expect to match up against 1093. Personally, between being in a big Imperium with a born KvK and an ACBA ranked seed with a competitive KvK, yeah, I mean, it's rough because for these big Imperium kingdoms, it's hard for them to find a match. Hey Mason, what's up? I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. I went for a swim this morning, so feeling a little bit energized. I think ideally you'd be an Imperium with a fun KvK. That'd be the ideal situation. It's all about the big imp you choose, for sure. I mean, outside of this KvK, the 1093 KvKs have always been pretty competitive. You know, they fought 1365, they fought 960 a bunch. I could say the same thing about 2377. You know, fighting 2429 a bunch. What were your KvKs before 2429? I actually don't remember. I did not migrate yet. Still waiting on and figuring out where to go. But soon, They fought 2 times in a row, yeah. 2377, 2429. But before those KvKs... Oh, what KvK was it? Don't tell me you're going back to KvK 2. Probably not. Actually, I could guarantee I'm not going back to KvK 2. Oh, it was the 8 Imperium KvK, was it? Oh, wow. Really? Interesting. Because we, in 2068, we played the 8 Imperium KvK, then we fought 2429. So you guys had an off season during that 2429 KvK, and then queued right into 2429 after that? WW primary are Liu Che and why? I think people like the WW primary for the smite tree and the debuff in there. That's why you see a lot of WW primaries instead of Liu Che's if they are losing WW Liu Che. Like you can see this guy, W Pika using WW primary. If you see the Liu Che primary, it's usually because they have Alex. It's Liu Che Alex. New Imperium 3318. Or 3308 rather. Was this the matchup? I'm curious as to why it says 2429-2. Why does it say 2429 domain 2? I don't have WW, so I can't really say which one's the best. But it is personal preference at this point. I know a lot more people lean towards the WW, so I'll just take the consensus word for it. New Archer 5111 if you chain barbs. I mean, if you have the extra gold heads for it, why not? The real question is, why wouldn't you just use Richard? Are you trying to chain multiple marches? And you probably just got rid of the deadweight. I mean, I would assume that the 1093 people that they kept are the top of the top fighters from their 3 alliances and 1 support. They're people that are active and, you know, are good culture pieces for the kingdom. I guess that's one of the good things about downsizing, is that you really get to select the best of the best out of your group. And I'm sure there are some pretty strong fighters from 1093 that that left, but I mean, so far against these opponents that they're versing, we look pretty solid. So, and by the way, the flag line is slowly but surely approaching the forts. They have 1, 2 flags to build, and then these guys over here, they're touching this fort. They could have burnt this fort quite some while ago. Is there a garrison in there? There probably is. Oh wow! So 93 SP has a garrison in there, which is why they cannot further their flag line closer to 93X fort. Pretty smart. This 93X fort is probably going to build because of that that fort hold that they have going on over there. Because once the flags protect this fort, it's pretty much going to build because it takes a full like hour to burn a flag. We got the reinforcement ball of 93X coming through as well. Just a stream of marches coming through on this top side. Looks like they're going to murder ball up in front of the 93 SP forts. Now I'm curious, how is this bottom side doing? They have some fighting down here. Looks like... Wow. They still have not built these flags? This is insane, actually. 93T is just sitting on the flags, making sure they build as slow as possible. Looks like less presence in this outer lane area here. But that's probably because 93T wanted this 93B fort to build before this... Oh wow, this D65A fort's actually building super fast, though. There are some 93T marches that are getting sad-faced. Honestly, not that much presence from 93T on this side that I could see, but I'm probably missing the main ball somewhere. Oh, there you go. So they're trying to delay the push by just attacking the marches, I guess. The murder ball that's going on out here. Oops, I almost shared it. There you go. It looks like they're winning that murder ball. Let's go ahead and go back up here, because this is I mean, there isn't a murder ball that's built yet for the 93X opponents. I think they're gonna actually crash into the murder ball before it builds, which is gonna be a good play. Then they can't go on the offensive. Would swarm 100%. Yeah, I mean they did have swarm potential. The real question is I don't know how many swarmers these A-seeds have. You know what I mean? And that's the power of forts in these early zones, is especially because rallies don't have the crystal tech as of yet for expansion of rallies. Rallies are always going to be in a disadvantage. Offensive takes are always going to be in the disadvantage because you have to have maxed out rally capacity to even match the amount of troops that's within a fort. So 1365 and 2377 are trying to match up. Wow. That's pretty interesting. Some people might say that's the fight for the third strongest kingdom in Rise of Kingdoms right there. At the start of the zone, generally A-seeds have at least 10 to 15 solid swarmer players. Okay. That's more than I expected, to be honest. 6 and 6 maybe as well. That would be a fun KvK to watch for sure. There you go. Murder balls now starting to collide. 2377, number 2. We made a list when we were watching the 2489 stream, just because the 2489 KvK was so dominant from 2489, and I started to stream already. I'm like, all right, well, might as well do something while we're here. I forgot the order, but I had chat votes on who they think the strongest kingdom in the game is, second strongest, third strongest. Wow, imps that actually want to fight each other, that's crazy. I don't have 77 over 93. That would be the question for second, right? Because people, with the new migration of 960 with the downsizing of 1093, people kind of put 960 above 1093. I mean, we have a lot more people, so there's going to be a lot more perspectives and, I guess, opinions. Let me pull up that stream, actually. I'm curious. I forgot what the list was that we ended up on. It was... Oh, okay. I see the list now. So chat at the time, this was as of 6 days ago. They put 960 first, 1093 second, 2377 third, 2489 fourth, 1365 fifth, 1606 sixth, 1875 seventh, 1846 eighth, 1188 ninth, 2429 10th. Here, wait, let me see if I can pull it up. This murder ball fight looks like it's over. Again, I didn't have an opinion at the time because this was my second stream coming back after not really playing the game for a bit. But yeah, this is a list that chat came up with. I have no accountability or responsibility for this list, but yeah, I mean, people said that 1188 should be 5th or 6th rather, and then put 1606 7th and put everyone down 1. I don't know, maybe there are a lot of 1606 players that were in the chat at the time. But I heard they got a really good migration in. I mean, they got a good group from 2268, that's for sure. They got a good Korean group in from 2268. They were the Korean group from SW. Oh, look, they actually got to reset. That's crazy. Yeah. This 93X4 is going to build. And perhaps this 93SP4 might build as well, which is an insane take. I'd expect that... I don't know. What's 1093's goal in this zone, to be honest? I actually don't know. They have such an advantage in terms of flags right now. Likely Orleans. Ooh, Orleans is a fun KvK. Especially if you're an older account and you have so many commanders that you can just put auxiliary skills on. So people that are in 1093 or in this KvK, what was the agreement? If one side loses, does 1093's other alliance get to go into the other zone, or are they just twiddling their thumbs until past 7 and and runes and altars, I guess. Like, say this 93X side. I mean, it looks like they're dominating this area. Not gonna lie. Like, could 93X go down into Tahiti, or is like not allowed? Only 93T. I mean, 93T's opponents definitely look like they have more territory, at least compared to the opponents on the of water camp or earth camp up here. I'm actually surprised. I didn't realize the disparity in terms of the size of the zones here. Tahiti is actually way bigger than Lucerne on the top. Like the side zones look like they're way bigger than the other zones. I actually thought they were like mirrored or the same, but apparently not. They still skillful on this? Can't tell. They do, yeah. There's 82 building progress and it's only 20 seconds remaining. Let's see if the murder ball fight's still going on this top side. It looks like 93T are starting to refresh at least. I don't know where their refresh is. The stop zone's actually making me dizzy. I don't know where to look. Back in the day when there were 4 alliances. During the COVID days. Oh, there you go. I found him. I think the real question is, I mean, it's never going to go back to COVID, but I'm curious as to, you know, Age of Empires is now starting to become a thing. Is that going to... Are players in Rise of Kingdoms going to start playing that instead? Like, what's... Anyone heard any news about that? I don't know. We'll have to see. There's more games that are being marketed to go into Rise of Kingdoms market share. But the COVID times were, for Rise of Kingdoms at least, were good times. I think it'll just attract more players to Rise of Kingdoms, not gonna lie. I haven't actually looked at the game at all. Like, I'm not a... It's crazy because I'm playing Pokemon Go and Rise of Kingdoms, but I'm not a mobile gamer by any means of the imagination. Like, I just started playing Rise of Kingdoms during COVID, and I guess I just continued on. Continued onwards. Oh, looks like they are actually approaching onto the 93T murder ball now. Interesting. I missed 93 fresh meat. How's the 960 KvK going? Is it fun, or is it as dead as it looks? I saw a video. Apparently, you guys lost runes or something, altars or something. What's going on there? I think Shappy posted a video. Shappy Gaming. 3265 beat 960 in altars.
65 beat 1960 in Alter, and this is what I've been waiting for.
Okay, interesting. Oh, okay, I see. Your side won though, so you take no account of it. I see how it is. I'm planning on migrating, just not. I'm not in any rush. I mean, I have so many vacations lined up. I'm gonna Japan in November as well, so not too much in a hurry. But you know, if the right kingdom comes, then I'll definitely be willing to go. I mean, that's crazy. Maybe that KvK is gonna be competitive. Hey, what's up, Dansky? I don't know. You gotta watch that Shappy video to see when that happened. I didn't watch those runes at all, so I have no context. How's the vacation so far? I mean, it's been all right. Montreal's one thing that I'll say about Montreal that's kind of annoying, and you know, maybe it's fine because you know everyone speaks French here. But like, I go to a restaurant and there's no like English. You know, in Ontario, I know we're like forced to have like French subtitles for everything. But then here in Montreal, it's like they don't have English stuff. So I've been slowly trying to Englishify Montreal. Like I go up to a kiosk, and then I change the language to English, and then I leave. You know, just changing the city one kiosk at a time. But it's been pretty chill. Like, yeah, that's right. This kiosk is now English for the next person. By the way, Murder Ball started. It looks like 1093T versus D65A. D65A definitely having the refresh advantage in this Murder Ball, but I mean, to be fair, it looks like they have more numbers than 93T, so looking rather dicey for 93T in all honesty. Although they do have push somehow. Not sure how they have push with numbers disadvantage and refresh disadvantage. We got the arrow towers up in here. Honestly, I might invest into an arrow tower for next KvK. I don't know. I don't know if I'll have the siege to do so. Heard you are moving to Wib. I haven't said where I'm planning to move to yet. Honestly, I've not even made a final decision yet. I'm personally not. I mean, I haven't been. I mean, I've been hit up by 1846, but I'm not really looking to go to 1846 as of now. I know that Gaines Gaming is going there though, so they are a very strong alliance. I have been in 1846 before. I don't know if people know this, but 2268 was a group that actually came from 1846, so we were, at least a contingent of us, were met people from 1874, where the kingdom kind of imploded after KvK 2, so then we migrated to 1846. I mean, yeah, we migrated to 1846. But at the time, 1846 was so big. and the way that they split us up is based off of your KP and your power. So some of us were in WIB, some of us were in LIU, and then a lot of us were in SIN or SIN. So we just kind of wanted to have our own kingdom so we could all play together in the same alliance. So that's how 2068 was built. But I always have I always have love for 1846 and Laguna when he was there, and Makote is one of the best players in the game. So what KvK is 1875 matching for? That's a good question. I don't even know. IDK. But by the way, 1093 losing this murder ball. Probably hunting some ACs again. I don't know what 1875's been up to after the 2 KvKs we've lost together. I mean, I have a lot of respect for them because, you know, they were great allies. Are you only aiming to migrate towards the top seed, even Imperium? You could never about chilling back, going to an A, low A, while to get situated for future kit migrations. I mean, I'm looking to, if I were to go to a lower seed KD, I would have probably went with the boys to 3092. I just want to be in one of the best, or one of the, I want to be in a top seed stable KD, for content reasons, and also just because I've been in the 2068 space for so long, where it's hard for me to know, like, people say it's good, people say it's bad. I actually have no context behind it because I've been in that space for so long. So, you know, the 1093s, 960s, all those top KDs, I think it'd be interesting to create content there, one, but two, experience how those type of kingdoms are run so that, you know, I see how they've been successful or whatever. If that makes sense. I mean, they are starting to approach this 93B for it. 93B, 1 hour, 40 minutes left on the build. The murder ball, you know, starting to wipe these 1093 marches. Flag lines getting closer and closer and closer. They do not have Skillful Craftsman anymore. I'm not gonna lie, 1093 in this left side kind of look outnumbered, or at least the refreshes are just taking so long for some of these players. Like, look how far these players have to walk. All right, well, you know, those players are not walking to the front lines directly, but it's a 2-minute walk down to the fights here, which is the main reason why they've been kind of getting pushed back. How come we didn't migrate with the rest of the 3092 group? Well, I felt that after 2268, I've been with the group for a while. I felt like if I were to migrate out and try out a different kingdom, a different environment, this would be the time to. So yeah, it's nothing against the 3092 group. It's just I want to try something different and see where it goes. There you go. Exactly. Grapple with the exact right quote. James, what's up? How am I doing? I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. Been fun watching this KvK. It's also been fun and stressful looking at different KDs to migrate to as well. Just been taking it slow. I would say that the 1093 side is actually getting stalled out on this left side. They do have more flag lines. They are at the halfway point, but the flag lines of their opponents here aren't exactly too far out. You know what I mean? There's going to be a fight around this that fort rather soon. I don't even know if they'll be able to reach the fort, to be honest. Wait, because this flag doesn't have skillful craftsman anymore. They have one flag, then they have to half flag. This fort's actually coming clutch. This A forts. Shout out to the Canadians in the chat. They have this, then they have a half flag, and they have. I don't know if they'll be able to make it in time. I think they'll be able to make it in time, but I don't know if they'll be able to burn it. Like they'll have maybe like 20 minutes to burn, 10 to 20 minutes. And then if 1093 exert all their pressure to save that fort, it should be fine. This fort, by the way, is still relatively healthy. This side of the map is pretty much wraps because the other side, 1093 is kind of struggling because they don't have the teleport spots. The teleports are right here for 93X. They have so many flags around here. They have this fort, this 90 SP fort, which I believe was built to defend the 90X fort, but now it looks like that 90 SP fort might actually build itself. So 93X is definitely controlling things on the shorter side of Lucerne, but the long side of Tahiti proving to be difficult for 93T, at least at this moment, although it does look like they finally got a decent murder ball going on this side to delay the push and delay the flag building of their opponents in D65A. So just a little bit of a hiccup because of the size of the map from 93T, but I feel like they should still have control. Oh, by the way, Shajar is sighting. Whoa! Primary! Yo! It is being used by 93C, confirmed. Goated commander. They could instantly destroy it, yeah, but at the same time, they'll be building a half flag. They have to build a half flag first, which will delay the push into the 93B fort by half flag at least. So it's really annoying for D65A to have to build a half flag.
32.
Whoops. This is your future kingdom. I mean, it might be. 1093's been a solid KD for so long, and they definitely fill the box in the stability that I was talking about earlier. By the way, the flags are now reaching the forts here. 93T flag, maybe. I think the next flag might actually be able to touch No, 2 flags out before it touches this AP06 fort. And the thing is, if these forts go down for water camp, then this zone's over. The forts are so strong in Zone 5. We were talking about it earlier. It's because the 3 million troop capacity of the fort is just so hard to kill. Even if you're an Imperium KD or Imperium Rally Lead, max stack quote-unquote player. Because it's so early into the KvK that most Rally Leads don't have max troop capacity. They probably don't have max... specifically the troop capacity, honestly, because you need to have max troop capacity to rally down to 3 million for it. This is Heroic Anthem. It is a Heroic Anthem KvK. This 96R fort looks like it will get burnt down. Oh, I guess this is a fort to slow the building of the flags up here. I guess that makes sense. The closer and closer that the flag lines of 1093 or 93T get to these flag lines of D65A and all them, like, the more dominant that 93T will be. And 1093. The main struggle for them has been the reinforcements, but when their flag lines get closer, then it'll be really, really tough for their opponents. Looks like the flag line here, by the way, is now touching this 06 JP fort. So this will be the first fort of the fort wall to fall from the 93T opponents. And there you go. We see another Shajar with YSG. Probably that probably be the third march, right, for archers. So it would be Zhuge Liang Herman Prime. Second would be some form of Ashurbanipal. Will it be, I don't know, Boudica Ashurbanipal or Ashurbanipal with Nebu? Depends if you like the AoE or if you like the single target debuff. Extra tankiness given by Boudica Prime. Or are they using it as a second march? Interesting. I don't know. 93T is south and 93X is east. Yeah, that's exactly how it was brought up. And they're doing the similar like agreements as 960 with their KvK, where it's like half-half in these zones. 9273 winning it, getting bullied by swarms. Oh wow. They are pushing onto territory of this top side over here. All things considered, it's not a dud of a KvK as of yet. It's still pretty competitive. The opponents of 93 are definitely still coming out to fight. (1188's allies. I didn't even know 1188 was in KvK. Not gonna lie. So many sad faces coming out from 3273. Yeah, maybe I came at the wrong time. I cast a curse at them. I looked over and now they're probably killing it, and then now they're starting to get sad face, you know what I mean? In the meanwhile, we have 1093 on top of the flag line of D65A. What's good, Leo? Hopefully, you know, you get some good migration from that stream. It was I mean, sure, Bingo was. Oh, Archie. Archie teleported here? Oh god, he's gonna get teleported out in like a minute. Hopefully you could get some good migration and traction in your KD. He is from 2218. The first kingdom to, well, I guess the second kingdom outside of 3092. But so the second kingdom to feature in Migration Mondays. Yeah. It's all good. Archie could teleport somewhere else, probably. Yeah, 93T started to push into the murder ball of D65A, trying to have some fun out here, get some KP. The flag will build though from D65A, and now they have to build the half flag, but you could see that they have units out here just trying to deny the half flag positioning. I mean, they could just build it on their own territory, I guess. But, you know, building it as far up as possible would probably be best. There you go. Yeah, these units didn't really block too much. So instead of getting that full flag worth, they got a chunk out because of this fort, which gives more time for this 93B fort to build. Though, oh, whoa, you do not want to be leaving the fort. You had the advantage there. Uh-oh. I guess they're just filling with a farm account. Let's see if that'll actually prove to be a difference maker. They're still ahead by like 2 minutes, I guess, but yeah, it'll be interesting. They have an opportunity to swarm down that fort, but with the open field that 1093 have, not looking likely. All imp KvK sometime next year. I'm sure there's gonna be a big KvK brewing sometime next year, maybe early next year. There's always like a big KvK around January, February. Migration Monday. Oh, I started up a series on Mondays called Migration Monday. I was supposed to do Farmer or Fighter this Friday, but I'm traveling back home, so I don't know what I'm gonna. Maybe next Friday I'll do Farmer or Fighter. I've been saying that for so long though. But Migration Mondays, I've realized how hard it is. One, for kingdoms to find good migrants, but two, for migrants to find good kingdoms. So I'm trying to match them up. Get some interviews in with migration leads. So far, it's just been migration leads and, you know, promoting kingdoms of people that I know. It's been 3092 with Bus and Bingo and Leo for 2218. Just asking them questions about, you know, what they think about the kingdom's future, what their plan is, what their goals are. I think it's way easier to decide where to go off of an interview and getting to listen to the migration leads and how they actually think compared to just staring at an ad and applying, you know what I mean? So this is Heroic Anthem. I'm interviewing whoever wants to be interviewed. It's D seeds, C seeds, B seeds, A seeds, Imperiums, doesn't really matter to me. If you guys want to be part of the next episode, I'm sure we could have some multiple kingdoms in one. I just line them up, you know what I mean? Just PM me, I guess. I'll force my king to talk to you. $10.93 Swarm Masters, 2 seconds in stat phase. Yeah. I mean, they're experienced in open field fighting, that's for sure. Oh yeah, Florida, bro. Hurricane Milton. Is that happening right now? Milton tracker. Where is it? I heard it's like a really bad hurricane. People are saying you have to leave or you die. It's devastating. Matt Achilles. Matt Achilles is a really cool guy. I met him in real life during the LA meetup. Really insightful thoughts about KvKs from like 3 KvKs ago when we were allies. We were talking about strategies like, yeah, man, if we just did this and we did that, and then if we held out for this and didn't do that, then we could have won that KvK. I'm like, damn, you remember so much about that KvK. Let's make a jumper. If I was a young lad back in 2022 or 2021, I'd be down. Are jumpers still a thing? I thought they were dead because of the migration stuff now. Floods can reach 10 to 15 feet at some places. Damn. Apparently, in jacking FL, and it's not that bad here. Jacksonville. I'm like, what's jacking? I mean, prayers up to everyone there. Hopefully everything is good. Not gonna lie, that's like the best part about living in Canada. Outside of the snow, there isn't really too much. I mean, you don't really hear that much about. I guess now forest fires in the west coast of like BC and in like Alberta, perhaps there's some forest fires there, but don't really hear too much in southern Ontario. We're like in the middle of a tectonic plate, so there's no earthquakes, and we're not near a coast, so there's no nice beaches, but at least there's no hurricanes. The Siege March putting in work though is like, I think the next march I'll invest in is a Siege March. I've been looking into it. It looks fun. That trades really well if you position it correctly and your open field just doesn't leave you to die. Spends time with you in voice channel while driving to work, helping us with whatever you can. Yeah, I mean, he's really insightful, that's for sure. It was nice seeing him and the misses in LA, and I hope to go to the one next year. If you guys ever get the chance to go to a Rise of Kingdoms meetup, it's actually really fun. I thought it'd be like weird, but I'm telling you, once you drink 2 to 3 AP pots, the awkwardness goes away. I wanted to go to Frankfurt too, but I just came back from LA and I was sick. I've been after LA, I was sick for like a month and a half. It was crazy. I don't know what happened. Ploto to 1093. I mean, it's in the cards for sure. Have a lot of acquaintances there. It wasn't. I think Ronin is the same one that was in 2268 that I used to talk to. I don't want to leak my DMs, but something in the LA area. I don't know if it's the LA area, to be honest. I've been in New York and I didn't get sick after that. I feel like New York air is way worse than LA. Like New York air, like you sleep, you wake up, and your nose has like black stuff in it, bro. It's crazy. You gotta have a purifier when you sleep in New York. I feel like 1093 isn't on the same level as 964, 89, and 2077 since they shrunk. Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see in their next KvK, right? I think they're still competitive though. I think they could be competitive against those KDs, honestly. But I think their next migration will definitely mean a lot. See who they get. Sorry, KvK matchup. I didn't. What KD are you in, Chillar? Okay, I saw that there were 20 KDs in Bus Driver's thingy. After this murder ball, we could look at the matchup for 3092. .1093 and 1365 will do really well with this new migration system. I think all the Imperiums will do really well. Like it definitely impacts a lot of the big KDs. But specifically those two kingdoms the most, I guess, because they're two alliance kingdoms, right? Harder to drop Imperium. Yeah, I have the same sentiment, Kilde. Oh, you were in 2068, then 3092? Wow, I'm so fake, bro. Fuck me. Were you ever in VC? How come I never met you? Just a silent member. Oh. Come on, man. Now I feel awkward. I'm like blushing. I think 65 hasn't dropped him for like a year. I mean, they're trying to match up against 2377, right? If that KvK comes to fruition, I think it'd be good for them. Drop some weight. Be a great time to see who's still committed or not. But it's... I mean, how's the vibes in 1365? I've heard some negative things about, like... I don't know. I've heard that the vibes are bad there. Just like from birds, from the Rise of Kingdoms birds that flap into my ears. Yeah, like I heard like the lack of good KvKs have kind of dampened the spirits of 1365. Oh, you're Asian time zone? Oh, I feel bad for you if you're in 3092 and you're Asian time zone. I bet your cheeseburger marches probably go dummy hard though. I mean, I'd try to be up for at least like, I don't know, 6-7 ETC, then I crash until 13. That'll be fun to watch, especially because 1365 is the powerhouse of old, trying to prove to the Radskins community that they still have it in them. And then 2377 is like this new powerhouse in a new hype. Been winning KvKs, been having tough KvKs for a while now. Facing against the old guard in 1365, so there's definitely a good storyline there. Oh, yo, Philo gang, what's up? Kamusta ka? So I'm so whitewashed. I'm so sorry. I don't even speak Tagalog, so But there you go. This is what I was talking about, by the way. 1093. It was looking a little bit dicey because their TPs are so far away, but now that the TPs are so close, it's looking a lot more competitive for them. Able to route D65A while also fighting a murder ball over here against AP06. I'm just spectating. I'm just spectating for now because I'm in vacation. It should be a fun KvK. For sure. Please target Furious for me. Oh yeah, there's like Furious is there. Is who else is there? It's F2P guide is there, you know. 12-inch. Wasn't there more content creators there, or is it the two of them? No one wants T4 kills. Maybe that's a strat. Just go full T4 and then run at your opponents. To be fair, I don't really care about. I didn't even know like I knew T1 kills are bad, but I didn't know that there was this whole discourse about your kill spread. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, if you look at your kills, sorry, I don't know why I'm shouting this person out, but if you look at your kills, if you have more T4 than T5 kills, people look down on you or something. I don't know. I think it's still crazy that 2377 won that KvK. Because I watched the first 2 days, saw that 2377's allies were kicked out of Kingsland. I'm like, alright, it's Jover. I'm just gonna. I don't even know what I did. I think I was like busy or something. I come back, stream like 3 weeks later, and I'm like, oh yeah, 24-29, top 5 kingdom in the game. And people are like, no, 24-29 disbanded because they lost their last KvK. I'm like, wait, they lost? Like, I was like flabbergasted. Yeah, that's my point. You can only kill what's in front of you. That's what I'm saying. They were not kicked out of Kingsland. I feel like they lost their pass within like the first day though, right? Yeah. I don't think but like the flag lines were like the thing about was it a Siege of Orleans? It was, right? The Siege of Orleans Kingsland is so favored to the right side in my opinion. Because this is not a Siege of Orleans, but they could wall hop and they're like 2 flags away from your pass. It's kind of ridiculous actually. That's what happened in our Siege of Orleans as well. But yeah, I mean, that's a huge win for sure. I think that's why people have 2377 cemented in either top 4 or top 3. 1188? I didn't even know they're in KvK. You guys want to look at that for a bit? Just litmus test, see what's going on. I mean, it looks like this KvK so far is pretty 1093 favored right now. Let's see what, I don't even know what map they're in. 1188. What is this KvK? Wow. Alliance Invictus? 1188 is not even Imperium. Gosh darn. I know I played this KvK, but I still don't know how this map's supposed to go. Oh, I think they won their pass. Yeah, they won this area. Interesting. Let's go back to 1093. Apparently the fort is getting rallied down right now. The SP fort. Oh, wait a second. Wait. Oh, wait, never mind. I'm like, wait, there's like white marches. It's because I didn't switch the view. I was like, oh shoot, they're doing something. Earth Camp is, I mean, they are doing stuff. They're starting to storm it. They're like rallying it down, but it's gonna be tough with the reinforcements of 9-3X just being right there. Lemonade have 80 players. That's pretty crazy. That is pretty crazy. I mean, they're not Imperium, I guess, so. But it's crazy that having a full alliance in 2024 essentially makes you Imperium. Like, that's a crazy fact. Back in like 2020, B seed would be like 4 alliances. Maybe not B seed, maybe like A seed. You're 172. I think the ideal setup for a kingdom would either be the 960 model, which is where you have super spenders in one alliance, or you have 2 alliances with very active players and spenders here and there. You know what I mean? At least in 2024. I'm telling you, it's miserable being in an alliance without War Shrine. Like, I remember when I was in that 4th, 5th alliance, I was just like begging WIB or LIU to let me in so that I could get I could train with the War Shrine. Those are the struggles we forget in 2024 because all the kingdoms now only have 1-2 alliances. Yeah, I'll take the report for the fort rally. I will say that the Archer March is very loud. We have rotations in off season. Some people need to stay in AO, then we switch turns. I guess it would be based off. Like, how do you choose the people? Is it like based off contribution? It's like, oh, bottom 32 people, you know, stay in AO. Or is it just like, oh, it's your shift now, you stay in AO for X amount of time? Ooh, Murder Ball coming through for the Earth Camp homies in this bottom side. Oh, okay. Not gonna lie, volunteers is crazy. Shout out to the volunteers. I mean, I guess I'm volunteering to stay in 2268 with like wood chests. Right. There's some people using the new archer, but not that many. I've seen maybe like 3-4 people use them from the 1093 side. Yeah, I also have to keep in mind that some people use the new archer as a secondary commander, right? Is she a secondary commander? You could see her here. She's my non-demic. But she's a primary? Oh, okay. Never mind then. I was giving her a benefit of the doubt. I actually don't remember her kit. What's gonna happen with 2068 is a new group taking over. The kingdom? I actually don't know. I think the kingdom's gonna be just one of those dormant DC kingdoms. Not gonna lie. Her commander pair, I saw YSG. Her and YSG as a pair. I know people have been saying Boudica and her as a pair for the extra healing factor and all that. What have people been testing? Like, what have the best tests been? I know Chisco's been streaming some testing as well. I see. So healing for secondary. So then you just want the high burst damage, right? As a primary. CL Herman, Shijar Asher Ball. Yeah, I mean that's what I assumed would be the pairs as well. You know, Kill It, I wish I had that problem. Man, I have enough speeds for KvK. I could do a chill in a. But I get it. I mean, it's a good system for sure. Send the report to me in Rise of Kingdoms. Yeah, send it to me in ROK. Yeah. That's what I'm saying, man. Apparently they both 2077 and 1365 skipped this pop so that they could get a final migration in so that they could do next pop. Still worth it to invest in Joan. Isn't Joan in dailies now? Joan, in my opinion, still a top 2 cavalry commander. In my opinion. You could put either. I mean, I think people prefer Hokibing over Nevsky, although still hotly contested. But like, pick one of the two, depending if you're on your preference. If you like the more healing and damage versus the debuffs. So you could go Hokibing or Nevsky, and then put Joan secondary, and that much slaps. So your first, whatever your first calf pair is, there's definitely going to be a Joan in there. You buy your daily, yeah. I mean, five XX5 is like 80% of Joan of Arc's effective power regardless, right? So, and then just finish her off via dailies would be ideal. That's pretty crazy thinking that KvK's put back by 2 weeks to get one person in with a ticket. Like that one person gotta be an MVP type of player. Jan. Do people still use Jan? For I think Eleanor kind of just destroys Jan now, right? I've just been seeing a bunch of Eleanor with Heraclius and haven't seen Jan since Eleanor came out, so. Oh, there you go. Extra time to recover. I mean, I guess he did come from 2 KvKs against 24-29, so makes sense. But the way that it was originally phrased, it's like, yeah, we had to wait for our ticket player. Like, oh damn, who's that ticket player? I'm curious. Port's still not in. That's all good. Ticket player is Ploto. If I'm someone's ticket player, then that kingdom gotta be scared. I'd be worried about that kingdom. Although now that they're changing the migration system, I guess it'll be fine because you can pick like 10, 15 players. I mean, if you're versing 2377, stay on territory, that's for sure. Mr. Hope and Wildline just swarming down every city they see that's above like 200 million power. That's below, rather. By the way, talking back to this KvK, going back to this KvK rather, 51 minutes until this fort builds. Some solid open field fighting coming out from the 1093 opponents, but just getting overwhelmed. I'd be curious to see what their trades are looking like. About 54 minutes on that. 43 on the D65A fort. So gonna be like 10 minutes where even if this flag line doesn't touch, 10 minutes where this D65A fort will be able to attack this 93B fort. The flag lines here are now officially touching. 250 million power. Holy crap. This ST guy is crazy. $250 million power. I wish. One day we'll hit 250 million power. If they make the bundles 99% off, I'll hit 250 million power. Yeah, I mean that SC group looks really strong. Like you can see this player, this player. Ah, damn. Chose 1906. Well, they'll have a fun KvK against. They're having a fun KvK against 1093. So. Overall, though, looks very, very solid for 1093. Looks like it's a controlled situation. They have control of this bastion on this side. It is a pretty useless bastion, honestly, so don't know if that was their goal. Where is the bastion on this side? Is it like over here? I can't. Can I do this? Let's see. Oh, I can see. Bro, the bastions are useless. What the heck? Oh, it's this one. Oh my gosh, wait. The opponents of 1093 actually got screwed over with their bastions. Low key, 1093 have the good bastions on their side regardless, so they don't even need to like zero themselves in this fight at all. This topside bastion is absolutely horrible, honestly. We were from 2396 and went to 2906. Still waiting for field control to launch a rally. Yeah, makes sense. You might be waiting for a while, not gonna lie, with how many players are in 96X. Although I feel like you guys are pushing them back quite by a little bit at least. Ploto, close your eyes. Is buying. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anything about the economics of accounting and all that stuff, but you probably have to ask previous buyers and sellers of that middleman or whatever. Or if it's the individual, I don't know. I feel like the economics of buying an account though have definitely, not that I know, but I would assume that accounts are cheaper than ever. My favorite March overall is probably still Sepia with Sepia with Luce. This feels so strong. It's either Sepia with Luce or it's Zhuge Liang with Herman Prime. The thing about Sepia Luce is it gets separated when you use two infantry marches, so I don't get to use it that often. But yeah, I would not suggest buying an account just because, it is your own risk. It is at your own risk. The Lotus is not gonna refund your money. I doubt that if you're getting scammed, people are gonna refund your money. But if we're talking homie to homie, it is a lot cheaper to buy an already developed account than start from scratch. So I see the merit to it for sure. I thought at least in the Chinese server, they're creating they created like a way to buy accounts officially through Lilith as a middle person. I don't know if they pulled through with that, but that was like a rumor back like maybe 6 months ago. Yeah. I don't know. It's a very slippery slope. Like technically against TOS, but
Stonks.
it is what it is. It's part of the community. Oh, you hear sirens outside? Something's going on. overall looks really solid for 1093. We'll keep our eyes out in this for this KvK as it progresses. Definitely the Kingsland. I don't know, maybe tomorrow we'll stream this zone as well if anything big happens. But I just wanted to keep an eye out because the 960 KvK looked pretty dominant. This one's looking just as dominant as well. But yeah, we'll have to see what happens with this 1093 KvK. And I'm looking forward to that 1365, 2377, and whoever joins if 1606 joins that as well. Should be fun. Yeah, I mean, I assume so as well, Leo. But it was there was a question about if 1093 were the same or if the downsizing would actually severely impact their KD. Looks like they still have it in them to compete with the best of the best KDs, which I expected. But you know, there were some questions. Yeah, I'm not exactly too sure the rationale behind taking this KvK. But I guess we could give them benefit of the doubt with the tough KvKs they've had back to back to back to back. I'm sure both them and I'm sure they didn't want to fight 960 again. They lost one alliance and one support alliance, I believe, Leo, from what I understand. But we'll have to see what the future of 1093 is. Hopefully they can get a good KvK, good migration. I mean, they've been around for so long for a good reason, right? One of the most stable kingdoms in Rise of Kingdoms. Yeah, they didn't have a good migration for quite some time, so this system is going to be helpful for them, and I think they're planning to drop Imperium regardless, so we'll see. We shall see what happens. What time is it? All right. It is almost time. Actually, it is time for me to end the stream. Appreciate everyone for coming through. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. I will keep tabs on this 1093 KvK, the 960 KvK, and of course the 2377, 1365 KvK when and hopefully if that matchup happens. And yeah, we'll do Migration Mondays on Mondays, Farmer Fighter next Friday when I get home. And if you're new to the stream, I promise my mic is not like this all the time, but once I get home on Friday, we'll be back to the good old normal Ploto casting as well on Saturday and Sunday on the official Rise of Games channel. And yeah, I guess I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.